Part 26. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zheji. Chapter 252. Lu Jianzhen smiled. You can only take a look from a distance outside the collection room. Huh. Lu Jianzhe. Even if the others can be compromised, this is absolutely not. He insisted, you can change your request, if you want to go in, you can't. His babies must never be shown to others. Seeing that he was here, Lu Jianzhen still refused to let go, and shook his head helplessly. Okay, let's change the request, you have to be my model. Lu Jianzhe. To be honest, he didn't want this either. But he had already rejected it once. Wouldn't it make Lu Jianzhen very embarrassed to reject it again? Lu Jianzhen was unhappy. What should he do if he didn't teach him to pursue Jin Li? Lu Jianzhe thought about it very seriously, and felt that it was not very unbearable to lose one's moral integrity for the sake of a long-term plan. He quickly made a decision. Okay, I promise you. But, you are not allowed to show the painting to other people. Lu Jianzhen snorted and pointed. You know my painter, are you sure no one can see it? For example, my other muse. Lu Jianzhe recalled the situation when Jin Li saw the portrait of her when she was a teenager. A little kid who doesn't know anything can make her admire and marvel. Now that he is more handsome and mature, he will only be better than before. Cough. President Liu Ba raised his chin slightly with a light expression. If it's for art, when necessary, it can still be shown to others. From this man called his younger brother, Lu Jianzhen fully realized what a dead duck's mouth is. However, her purpose has been achieved, and these small problems do not need to be entangled. She began to guide her younger brother. Everyone knows that you are the head of the Lu family. You are rich enough to rival the country. Money is nothing to you, right? Lu Jianzhe thought this was the truth, and he nodded. Lu Jianzhen continued, so, if you follow the example of those wealthy fans on the internet, and cover the screen for Jin Li in major squares, the fans will only think that you, Lu Jianzhe, are indeed rich, and you are indeed a local tyrant. I don't think it took a lot of thought and energy, do I? Lu Jianzhe fell into contemplation. Lu Jianzhen's cell phone beeped. Lu Jianzhe's meditation was interrupted. Lu Jianzhen showed Lu Jianzhe the screen of his mobile phone. It was the latest news and reports related to Jin Li's birthday. There was another local tyrant fan who didn't know where he came from. He rented a suburban area with no restrictions on fireworks. The live broadcast was Jin Li put off fireworks for 2 full hours. Countless fireworks gathered into red hearts and happy birthday Jin Li, making fans call 666. Lu Jianzhe suddenly figured it out. He felt that what Lu Jianzhen said was very reasonable. What he thought before, any rich fan can do. And relative to his wealth, it is not worth mentioning. According to Lu Jianzhen's words, it is, you can feel the charm of money, but you can't feel your heart. And unique. He nodded again and looked at Lu Jianzhen. You're right. Lu Jianzhen spread his hands. So, the charm of your money is enough. With your status, whether it is for Jin Li or fans, what impresses them more is their heart. Let people feel your sincerity. Lu Jianzhe asked anxiously, how can I show my sincerity? The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Sushao Zheji. Chapter 253. The always elegant Mrs. Lu rolled her eyes. I've already pointed this out. I'll teach you how to express your sincerity. Why don't you just give your daughter-in-law to me to chase after you? Lu Jianzhe, bye. After speaking, he hung up the phone neatly. Lu Jianzhen. Oh, crossing the river and demolishing the bridge is a joke. Hanging up the phone of her sister who was trying to pry her from the corner, Lu Jianzhe sat at the desk with a serious face, with his hands staggered to support his chin, and was pondering various plans for chasing his wife. Bai Yan came in at this time. He has been back for several days. During this time, he found the lady at the front desk, and Amway bought a lot of whitening masks to apply every day, but he saw a little effect. Achromaticity. The special assistant intern, Miss Bai Qian, finally got out of the bitter sea, and asked to be transferred to the general department below. At this moment, seeing his husband's contemplative appearance, Bai Yan hurriedly asked if he needed to share his worries. Hearing this, Lu Zhenjie looked up at him and shook his head deeply. No, it's useless to ask you. Bai Yan. His heart was breaking down and shouting, what's wrong with me? I'm useless. Sir, you were not like this before. Did you find a new goblin and dislike me? However, nothing showed on his face. He just looked at Lu Zhenjie worriedly. Sir. Lu Zhenjie said coldly, I'm thinking about things related to Jin Li. Bai Yan instantly straightened his face and closed his mouth. He wouldn't forget why he was sent to South Africa. In areas where you are not good at, in addition to not giving casual advice, it is best not to say a single extra sentence. Then Mr. Wang from the SIT group is here. I'll go and receive him first. Bai Yan immediately found a perfect excuse and left the office. Lu Zhenjie waved his hand to send him away, and continued to hold his chin and began to think. Be attentive. He was willing to pay attention. He is willing to do anything Jin Li wants for her, even. Lu Zhenjie thought about it, even if it is the treasure in the collection room, if Jin Li likes it, he is willing to give her a little bit. But she won't. Lu Zhenjie felt a bit of a headache when he thought of the beloved star that he threw in the collection room at will because he didn't send it out. If you want to be different from others, you must also reflect your own mind, and it must also be in line with her preferences. Lu Zhenjie fell into thinking quietly. He didn't skip work today. He even worked overtime and left the company at almost 7 o'clock. At this time, on Weibo, the hot search for Happy Birthday to Little Fairy has already entered the top 10. Similarly, a variety of fresh and moving videos and texts appeared under Weibo again, causing passers-by to shout surprises. Who would have known that a female star who was reviled by everyone a few months ago could madly win so many fans? Lu Zhenjie called Jin Li. Jin Li is in a very good mood at the moment. Not only because she felt the feeling of being cherished and loved by many, many people, but also because of the golden energy that poured into her body on a large scale. She could clearly feel that in the sea of consciousness, there were more and more cracks on the golden giant cocoon. Just a little bit. With just one chance, her spirit body can break this confinement. The strength has reached a qualitative leap. Good night. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhezhi. Chapter 254. Lu Zhenjie's call came at this time. Hey. Listening to her brisk tone, Lu Zhenjie knew that she was in a very good mood at the moment. I saw the news, he said. Huh, Jin Li didn't react for a while. Fans are celebrating your birthday, are you happy? Lu Zhenjie asked. That's what it was saying. Jin Li rolled her eyes, I'm happy. Lu Zhenjie also smiled, as one of your fans, I should also celebrate for you. Jin Li was taken aback, didn't you give me a gift? Lu Zhenjie quibble, that's different. The gift I gave in the morning was brought to you as a friend. As a fan, I haven't sent blessings to my idol yet. Does this make any difference? Fish, who didn't quite understand men's scheming, fell into a moment of daze. But instinct made her feel that something was wrong, and she was ready to say no. So many fans set off fireworks and buy videos for you, so I won't make those fakes. Jin Li, how about I go to your house and cook you a bowl of longevity noodles? Jin Li's refusal, which had already reached her lips, was instantly stuck. Lugenja plus boiled noodles equals delicious. She suddenly remembered the dinner she had at Lu Jianzhen's house. That's the delicacy that the fish can't say no to. Moreover, it's just a bowl of noodles, it's not too much and can't afford it. Thinking of this, Jin Li smiled without any burden. Okay. Hanging up the phone, thinking of the upcoming delicious food, Jin Li sat on the sofa hugging the pillow and kissing her twice. Lan Ting saw the scene as soon as she entered the living room, and asked with a smile, "Why are you so happy?" Jin Li said happily, "Lu Zhenjie just called me to cook me a bowl of longevity noodles." Lan Ting. A surprise gleamed in her eyes. "Father Lu, have you finally made your move?" The Yalai party felt great happiness. Moreover, even if you put aside your own CP fan position. Lan Ting thought about it, a man who counts time in seconds, after work, he still does not forget to cook a bowl of longevity noodles for you. Whether it's this behavior or the implication contained in the longevity noodles themselves, it's too cool. Better than giving any gift. Because he lived next door, Lu Zhenjie came quickly. Lan Ting said in particular, "Mr. Lu, there are various ingredients in the refrigerator, which are noodles. I didn't buy this kind of noodles that won't break." Lu Zhenjie shook his head, "You don't need to buy good ones. Is there flour in the kitchen?" Lan Ting was stunned for a moment, then nodded, "Yes." "That's it." Lu Zhenjie rolled up the cuffs of his shirt and approached the kitchen. Lan Ting reacted with hindsight, "What does Dad Lu mean, he wants to meet in person?" "Mom." A little excited is swollen. She couldn't help but went on Weibo and posted a long string of She has a lot of fans on Weibo. At the beginning, it was because he had been on the thrilling uninhabited island. Although it is not as good as Jin Li's fanatical ability to attract fans, there are also many fans. Later, after becoming Jin Li's assistant, many Jin Li fans also followed the assistant's Weibo, because Lan Ting often sent some daily news of Jin Li as a benefit to fans. Therefore, many fans squat under her Weibo every day. This time, as soon as her Weibo was posted, comments quickly appeared below. "What's wrong with Miss Lan Ting? Is there any good news for my Jin Li? The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess." Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 255. Lan Ting looked at the comments of the fans and wanted to tell them all her excitement in one breath. But no. Cannot say. She could only endure the pain and suffering. After thinking about it, Lan Ting walked to the kitchen door. At this moment, Lu Zhenjie is already having a meeting. Lan Ting took a careful look and realized that Dad Lu really deserved to be Dad Lu. Even if he is wearing an apron at the moment and is having a face-to-face meeting, he looks like a lingering elite. Lan Ting was actually a little afraid of Lu Zhenjie. After all, not everyone can ignore the aura of the boss like Jin Li. But the power from CP fans gave her courage. She mustered up the courage and said, "Papa Lu, sir, can I make a video for you?" With her back to Lan Ting, the corner of Lu Zhenjie's lips faintly evoked a hint. "Of course you can, please," he whispered. Lan Ting almost jumped up with joy. Clap clap. She turned on her phone, added a little filter, and took a picture of Lu Zhenjie. However, at first she just photographed Lu Zhenjie, and later, she gradually became interested in the noodles in his hand. It took several minutes for Lan Ting to react. She smiled and touched her nose. Without taking any more shots, she quietly left the kitchen. Jin Li sat on the sofa and looked at her brightly. "How is it?" Lan Ting was a little funny. "Why don't you go and see for yourself?" Jin Li said confidently, "I'm waiting for a surprise. Now that I watch it, I don't know what it will be like, so there is no sense of expectation." Lan Ting. She felt a little speechless. More than half an hour later, Lu Zhenjie came out with a bowl of noodles. Fresh and fragrant. The noodle soup was prepared by Lucenja's aunt in advance, and it was just delivered. The broth that has been hung for several hours can't help but move your index fingers when you smell it. Wow! Jin Lee got up long ago, followed behind Lucenja, and sat at the dining table. The noodle soup in front of me is clear and golden in color. The noodles are slender and firm. There are also fried eggs that are browned, and finely chopped green onions are sprinkled on top, which is beautiful and tight. This is a bowl of noodles that looks very ordinary, full of the fireworks of ordinary people in the market. Lucenja also served her with 2 dishes of side dishes, which were full of flavor and taste. Jin Lee can't wait to start eating with chopsticks. Wait a minute, Lanting and Lucenja spoke almost at the same time. Jin Lee looked up blankly, what's wrong? Lanting picked up her phone and snapped a few close-ups of the bowl of noodles. Such a commemorative noodle, of course you have to take a photo. However, Lucenja said, this longevity noodle has a rule. It must be eaten in one go, and the noodles cannot be broken, which is unlucky. Although everyone knows that this is just a tradition, it has no practical significance. But when it comes to the people she cares about, she always hopes that she can keep this tradition. Just like the meaning of this longevity noodles, healthy, safe and long life. Jin Lee felt the kindness and sincerity released by this man. She smiled and nodded, okay, thank you, Lucenja. Lucenja said calmly, hurry up and eat, and wait for the noodles to be mushy. Jin Lee didn't say anything. He used chopsticks to pick up the noodles. He didn't move quickly, but he started eating seriously. Of course, it was impossible for Lan photographer Ting to miss the scene, and the mobile phone was beeping all the time. Lucenja didn't cook a lot, and Jin Lee quickly finished all the noodles. The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 256. She swallowed the last bit of noodles and even took a sip of the soup with satisfaction. Delicious, she looked at Lucenja with bright eyes, who happened to be sitting on the side and looking at her. The atmosphere suddenly became a little ambiguous. Click. Unfortunately, the not harmonious shutter sound interrupted this harmonious scene. Lanting looked at Shanglu's father's indifferent eyes, and said with a dry smile, the hands are fast, the hands are fast. But I was saying in my heart, as a qualified CP party, how can I endure this kind of clip without filming it? Jin Lee came back to her senses and smiled at her, I want to see the photos. Lanting handed her the phone, Jin Lee looked at each one, and after reading it, she asked Lucenja, can I post some photos on Weibo? Waiting for this moment. The villain in Lucenja's heart clapped his hands, his face still reserved, you are the birthday star, you are the biggest. If Lu Jianzhen were here, he would probably sigh that this younger brother was making rapid progress. The 4th child of her family is afraid that she will not need her help soon. Jin Lee, who was affirmed by the parties, was not polite at all. He picked out a few photos and sent them to his mobile phone, and then posted on Weibo. Jin Lee is a koi acridine, Lucenja specially came to cook a long life for me to eat, I really like him. Picture. There is also a short video of a few minutes, which is the scene of Lucenja kneading dough in the kitchen taken by Lanting. As soon as the Weibo was posted, the mobile phones of the other 2 people in the room rang. Lucenja and Lanting looked at each other and took out their mobile phones tacitly. Seeing Jin Lee's Weibo, Lanting almost didn't scream, what else can make CP fans feel more exciting than the official announcement? Look at what Jin Lee said, I really like him. It's a real hammer that can drink sugar for 10,000 years. Compared with Lanting, Lucenja is much calmer. Although his heart has set off small fireworks, his face is still calm, and he insists on keeping the boss's character unshakable. Just calmly gave Jin Lee a thumbs up. Fans are different. They were stunned at first, then shocked, then ecstatic, and finally just ah. Have I, I, I have hallucinations. Jin Lee didn't actually post on Weibo just now, did he? You read that right, brother upstairs, Jin Lee really posted on Weibo. Is it official? Envy. I envy Papa Lu for being able to go to Jin Lee's kitchen, and I also envy Jin Lee for being able to eat the noodles that Papa Lu made. The longevity noodles are well received. It is not an overly gorgeous and delicate arrangement, and it has the taste of home. My God, Blue Dad Lu, you are not only a big guy with a mind at home, you can also wash your hands and make soup at home. What a fairy man. Here, the Yalai party said that he was about to faint, and he could actually see the main person sending candy in his lifetime. Those who have worked overtime and haven't had dinner yet, just want to express that the bowl of noodles looks delicious. I went to watch the video and you have already swiped so many comments. I just want to say, Dad Lu is in such a good shape, wearing an apron can't cover up your wide shoulders, narrow waist and long legs. Dad, are you really not considering debuting? Sisters upstairs, stop dreaming. Dad Lu handles hundreds of millions of business every day, where is the time to waste on debut? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 257. With a bowl of noodles, Lu Zhenjie took Jin Lee from the 10th most popular search to the top one. People always pay 3 extra points to the rich bigwigs. And Lu Zhenjie, he is not an ordinary rich man, but a big man who is rich enough to beat the top of a certain rich list. In addition, this rich boss, he is not only rich, he also has a handsome face that is comparable to the most aesthetically proportioned sculptures, so perfect that no flaws can be found. Probably when people were born, God not only opened the doors and windows for ventilation, but also directly opened up the 4 walls. Wow, I don't know if I should envy Jin Lee's happiness at this moment, or should I envy Papa Lu's happiness? I wonder how Dad Lu knew about the Jin Lee family, and what is the relationship between the two. I thought Jin Lee was different from other people, but I didn't expect that. In the end, I bowed down to the rich man's suit pants. Are you sick upstairs? Don't say that no announcements have been made now, even if Lee and Dad Lu really have something. That's a real talent and a girl, a golden boy and a girl. Is it a perfect match? The lady upstairs, my pair, and Papa Lu are a good match in the eyes of some low competitors. I pair to find an ordinary person who can't do anything to call him not worshipping money, so he can call him pure and unpretentious. Don't worry, if you don't know anything else, Jin Lee doesn't look down on you anyway. I think the sisters upstairs are thinking too much. It really has nothing to do with it. How could Jin Lee say it in such a casual tone, this intimate and familiar tone? The two are obviously good personal friends. Someone finally said it, and I also feel that there is nothing ambiguous in Jin Lee's tone. When Jin Lee made a comment, it was purely out of happiness and wanting to show off her longevity. She didn't think about it that much. The phrase like Lu Zhenjie was the same as what she usually said, like Lan Ting, Susu, and sister. In her eyes, human beings are not divided into males and females, only good-looking and bad-looking. But she didn't expect netizens to think of other aspects, and even quarreled because of it. She looked at Lu Zhenjie, a little sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't expect the sentence to have such an effect. At this moment, a Weibo titled #suspected to reveal a relationship with Mr. Lu has entered the field of view of netizens strongly. Does Lu Zhenjie mind? Of course he doesn't mind. He even wished that such rumors spread a little more. It is best to spread it to the whole world to think that he and Jin Lee are in love. But this kind of mentality must not be known to Jin Lee. So he could only look at Jin Lee gently, and said very considerately, "It's okay, I never care about these rumors on the internet." His tone was sincere and his attitude was natural, as if the man who broke off his signature pen in anger when he saw the rumor about Lu Qingyuan and Jin Li's scandal, was a dummy. Of course, Jin Li didn't know the sinister intentions of the human being in front of him. She just felt that the other party was too understanding. "You're a really nice person, Lu Zhenjie," she thought about it, and then said, "but I can't let your reputation suffer. I'll post another Weibo to refute the rumor." Lu Zhenjie frowned and tried to save it again. "Actually, there is no need to be so troublesome, maybe it will get worse and worse." Jin Li said with a serious face, "I told the truth and refuted the rumors. It's their business whether those people believe it or not. What I want to do is what I think should be done." Mr. Zonglu, alas, the old lady is too serious, she can't take advantage of it if she wants to. Jin Li breaking fingers, "I like Lan Ting, I like Lu Qingyuan, I like Susu, I like Pretty Sister. The weekend is spicy, if there are recommended tickets, smash Gao Lengzi more. The Koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi goddess." Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 258. Lu Zhenjie was completely helpless. He could only watch helplessly as the rumors that had not developed into a prairie fire were quickly wiped out and died in Jin Li's hands. "Jin Li is a Koi Acridine V, sorry for the misunderstanding, Lu Zhenjie and I are good friends, and he came to my house because we are neighbors. There is no other relationship. Also, I am very happy today, thank you all for your blessings. So, raffle. Forward this Weibo to participate in the lottery, and after half a month, 10 fans will be drawn to send good luck charms." Lu Zhenjie knew that Jin Li would clarify the relationship between the two, but he didn't expect her to do it so neatly. It is clear that the relationship between the two is not counted, and she actually won the lottery without warning. Lottery. Good luck charm. If it is said that there is a ranking in the lottery activities of the whole network now, so that fans can choose the prize they want the most, it must be Jin Li's good luck charm. Originally, Lu Zhenjie thought that if Jin Li just clarified, then according to the normal reactions of many netizens, many people would not believe it. But Jin Li's word of drawing a lottery directly brought the topic to another matter. I have to say that in normal times, Dad Lu's brain is still very good. For example, his guesses are completely indistinguishable from the facts. As soon as Jin Li's Weibo came out, the popularity of Yelai's CP, which had been discussed before, was instantly suppressed. Beneath Jin Li's entire Weibo, there is only one theme left, the lottery. After all, no matter how cute the CP is, it will only make people feel down. But if you draw a lucky charm and get rich by the way, your whole life will become very fast. Duck. Smoke the duck. Jin Li little fairy is beautiful in a prosperous age, Jin Li is on fire, Jin Li is the best, I praise you Jin Li, give me some good luck, smoke me duck 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 duck. Good luck charm. Good luck charm. Good luck charm. I want a lucky charm. Lu Zhenjie silently looked at these fans who changed their minds, and snorted coldly in her heart, to make you lose your temper so much, heh, shameful. Then it is very natural to switch to the trumpet and share with one click. Good luck charm, although he has it, it is not too much. The storm brought by Jin Li's lottery is indescribable. With this one, she has a total of 2 sweepstakes. Although the prizes are all the same, in the first lottery draw, her fame was not as big as it is now, and her fans were not as big as it is now. The key is, at that time, no one took this so-called good luck charm seriously. And now it's different. The 10 lucky netizens who won the lucky charm last time have proved that the lucky charm can really bring good luck. There are as many Africans in the world as there are people who desperately want good luck charms. Not to mention fans. An hour later, when Jin Li went to Weibo again, he found that some familiar people had forwarded his Weibo. Wen Jiming, Suhek Siang, the original director, some actors known by the crew of MRS Jinguo. Of course this is obvious. There are still some celebrities in the circle who can't afford to use a large number to retweet to participate in the lottery, and they all turned out their own trumpet numbers. Even the Diamond Association came out to join in the fun. Diamond Association official V, I don't know if I can win a lucky charm by forwarding the little friend's Weibo. The koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 259. Among the glittering forwarding lists, the Diamond Association is extra distinctive and eye-catching. Netizens were amazed. The Diamond Association's style of painting always makes me incomprehensible. After all, it's a Weibo account at the level of a boss, why is it not reserved at all? In the beginning, I knew that the Diamond Association was because of Jinli at that time. I naively thought that the Diamond Association was cold, serious, and old-fashioned, and now. Speaking of which, I remember that Jinli seemed to have said that after the filming of MRS Jinguo, she would go to the Diamond Association for a walk, and she was inexplicably looking forward to it. Seeing the Diamond Association's repost, and seeing the comments of netizens, Jinli suddenly remembered, yes, he promised to go to the Diamond Association after filming to discuss Taoism with them. Almost forgot. Thinking about this, she decided to call the Diamond Association tomorrow. As soon as she looked up, she saw Lu Zhenjie sitting very silent on the sofa. He is still the same, his expression is flat, his movements are upright and elegant, and he doesn't look any different from usual. But it's really a little different. Jinli, who has always been not very enlightened in observing words and expressions, felt the anger of this man as if she was blessed in a moment. No, not angry. Rather unhappy. More like a low mood. Looking at the delicious bowl of noodles, no, because the two are friends, Jinli decided to take care of him. Are you unhappy? Of course Lu Zhenjie was not happy. He died before the scandal between him and Jinli came out. What a sad thing. But this kind of thing can only be held in the heart, unable to say it. He could only shake his head, it's okay. Jinli looked at him suspiciously. However, as the father of successful people, Ji's expression management is absolutely first class. Of course, it is impossible for a fish who is not deep in the world to see anything. In the end she could only say, okay then. She thought about the golden giant cocoon of her sea of consciousness again, and depending on the situation, it was not far from being able to open the treasure house. At that time, she was going to give Lu Zhenjie a gift. After a while, I have a surprise for you, she said mysteriously. Lu Zhenjie was curious, what surprise? Jinli said with a smile, I said it was a surprise, I'll talk about it later. It's getting late, you should go home and rest. Lu Zhenjie glanced at the time, it was really late. There are two girls, Jinli and Lan Ting, who live in this small villa. He is a man, and it is not suitable for him to be alone too late. Goodbye then. Jinli waved at him, goodbye. The next day, Jinli didn't forget the business and called the Diamond Association to discuss going to the Diamond Association to communicate. Of course, the customer service staff at the Diamond Association conveyed the matter to the person in charge. President Hu Zhensin was overjoyed, is it time? You can come anytime. Anyway, their Diamond Association is very busy every day. Jinli thought for a while, then tomorrow morning, I'll go in the morning. It is good. After hanging up the phone, Hu Zhengan also sent Jinli the address and route map intimately. Then, he took out his mobile phone and entered a certain WeChat group. Xiamen Hu Zhengan at all members, Jinli said that he will come to the Taoist Association to discuss Taoism tomorrow. Xiamen Shui Dao Kang, okay, Pandao Yujian will return to the imperial capital tonight, and my nephew will prepare a room for me. Tianchi Dao Mo Kunzi, it's a pity that I can't see Jinli's little friend in Miaozhong at the moment. Shuyuzhai Huijin, I've booked my flight ticket. I'll go and arrange the affairs in the door. I can arrive at the imperial capital in the evening. Yu xiao zone wu deizai, I'm so close, the high-speed train can reach the imperial capital in an hour and a half. Mission Qinjiangzi, the Taoist friends of Shiyazhai and Yuxiaozong are still so rich. I'm going to buy a train ticket for tonight, and I'll probably arrive at the imperial capital tomorrow morning. I wonder if I can ask Jinli little friend for a lucky charm to improve my economic situation in Mission. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Koi Fairy Wife is Sweet as Honey, Love from the Koi Goddess. Author, Su Xiaozhaji. Chapter 260. The next day, Jin Li rejected Lan Ting's suggestion to accompany her, and went out and took a taxi. The driver who drove the car took a serious look at Jin Li first, and then heard the address she reported, and his eyes lit up. Are you Jin Li? In fact, he recognized Jin Li at first sight. It's just that the master has rented a car in the imperial capital for so many years, and the stars have also carried several, all of them are sunglasses, masks, baseball caps, and scarves, for fear that they are not enough to stand out in the crowd. Jin Li was so calm that he didn't dare to confirm it for the first time. It was not until he heard that the address mentioned by Jin Li matched what Jin Li said on Weibo, he was excited to confirm it. Yes, Jin Li admitted, and then asked happily, Uncle, do you know me too? The uncle of the driver said happily, of course, our whole family is your fans, and I even used Weibo to participate in the lottery. Jin Li is a little happy. When you go out and meet someone who likes you, how can you not make the fish happy? The uncle is a very talkative person. Jin Li, do you really want to go to the Taoist Association to communicate with those Taoists? What are you really, a member of the Suanmen? Jin Li nodded, not guilty at all, of course. The uncle became interested all of a sudden. Is it true that what is written in the novel? Can you all move mountains and reclaim the sea? Can you fly? Can you live forever? Jin Li. She thought about it for a while, and finally suggested sincerely, Uncle, the novels are all fictional, so don't get too addicted. The monks in the mortal world, unless they can cultivate to the extreme, break the void and rise in the sky, or the long lifespan will eventually come to an end. And ascension has always been difficult, even in the world of cultivation with rich spiritual energy, only a few heavens-favored people can do it. With the thinness of spiritual energy in this world, the path of ascension for monks is basically cut off. The uncle was not disappointed when he heard Jin Li say this. After all, he was just looking for a topic to talk about. When he arrived at the destination, Jin Li had to pay for the car. The uncle waved his hand, and took out a notebook. The fare is not needed, I can get you today, enough for me to go out and brag for half a year. But, Jin Li, you can sign me. Jin Li took the notebook, signed the name for the uncle, and gave him $200 when he left. Saying goodbye to the uncle driver, Jin Li looked at the building in front of him. The appearance of the Daemon Association headquarters is still very impressive. This is a quaint house. On both sides of the Vermilion Gate are two majestic stone lions, and there are two teenagers dressed as Taoist boys guarding the gate. As soon as they saw Jin Li, their eyes lit up, and they asked in unison, is the visitor Jin Li layman? Jin Li sensed a weak spiritual power from these two teenagers. She smiled and nodded, it's me, I'm here for the appointment of the Daemon Association. A teenager hurriedly came to guide her, and a teenager ran inside, probably to inform the people inside. Jin Li followed the little Taoist inside, and when he looked outside, he only thought that the Daoist Association was very imposing, but when he came in, he realized that there were a lot of mysteries inside. The stones under the feet and the number of flower beds on both sides all imply the number of 5 elements and gossip. It seems that this Taoist association is still a bit interesting, Jin Li thought. She was looking around, and on the high pavilion in the distance, there were other people looking at her. Daemon, observe in the dark JPG. Today is only the third watch. I am so excited to eat self-heating small hot pot, and my stomach has been uncomfortable at night. I'm going to be lazy, okay, good night. The Koi fairy wife is sweet as honey, love from the Koi goddess. Author, Sushao Zhaji. Chapter 261. Shuelei Dao, who was still in a tang suit and didn't like to wear Taoist robes, stroked his grey beard and nodded his head in admiration. Both eyes are clean, and behavior is measured, and it looks good. Qin Jiangzi from Mission was dressed in a very standard Taoist attire, a blue cloth robe, with a peachwood hairpin tied up in a bun on his head, and a long sword wrapped in black cloth on his back. It's just that although the green robe looks clean, the edges of the fabric have been worn and faintly white. Obviously, Mission's economic situation is indeed a little bad. Qing Yangzi was a thin middle-aged man, who was set off by this half-new Taoist robe, but he was more like a celestial and mysterious person than Shuelei Dao, who was beside him with a red face. It's just that this immortal Taoist priest said, I heard that little friend Jin Li can win 20 million by simply buying a lottery ticket. I really want to ask for some tips on making money. They Mission are so poor they can't open the pot. The people on the side, alas. Shuelei Dao is of high seniority and has a fiery temper. Hearing this, he jumped with a beard and stared at him, a person in practice. If you open your mouth and keep your mouth shut, you are a vulgar thing, what a formality. Nei Qin Jiangzi was not afraid of him, and even scolded him back. Shui Daokang is so aloof, presumably when he goes out to help others, he will not be charged. Old Shui said. Chairman Hu Jingan, who was standing on the side, had a headache. The Daemon Association is an organization. In this association, most of the members are actually ordinary people who are curious about or believe in Taoism, that is, people who recite the scriptures, do their homework, and share their cultivation experience with their peers on weekdays. They do not have any magical means. It is this part of the members that Hu Jingan can manage. But there are other people, like Shui Daokang Qin Jiangzi, who have deep roots and have inherited hundreds or even thousands of years of Suanmen sect. These people are serious practitioners, the sects have their own inheritance, and the constraints are not as big as those of ordinary Taoist priests. Joining the Taoist Association is also because of the need to put up an account on the national front to facilitate management. After all, no matter who is the ruler, they will not rest assured that such a group of people with magical powers are not under their control. Hu Jingan himself is one of them. But he didn't light up his skills in practice. As a result, his cultivation base is only a rookie among these big guys. When the big guys are arguing, does the rookie dare to come out and stop it? Dare not. So he could only find another way to change the subject. Hu Jingan, but I watched it for a long time, but I didn't see any spiritual energy from layman Jin Li. As soon as these words came out, Shuelei Dao and Qin Jiangzi really stopped arguing. Shuelei Dao glanced at his nephew with disgust. I want you to practice hard on weekdays, and you can't even see a wave of spiritual energy. It's really a loss of face for my Xiamen. Qin Jiangzi meant something, things outside the body affect cultivation. President who usually spends less time on mobile phones and computers. If he really can't help it, he can control it from the root and donate them directly to mission. Hu Jingan. Lei Huijin, who had been standing on the side without speaking, finally spoke at this moment, and her tone was gentle. Don't bully Zheng'an, I can't see the spiritual power fluctuations in Jin Li. Shuelei Dao and Qin Jiangzi were shocked when they heard the words. Hu Jingan is a good monk with half a bucket of water, but lay Buddhist Huijin is not. The two quickly stared at Jin Li.